A tough train, steel hauler with a powerful locomotive hauling a long line of cars.
Well, no. As a matter of fact, the power torque motor for TYCo trains became TYCo's slow death. That and the fantasy schemes. However, even today, there are many of us who collect TYCo, model TYCo, upgrade TYCo, that turn around and say, well, we're going to try this. We're going to take apart the power torque motor. We're going to put a CD-ROM in it. We're going to take the shell off. We're going to put it on an Athearn shell, make it look closer. For me, I did a little digging a while back, and I wish I could find the articles, but I can't. But I found out the true origin of the power torque, in which case it would have become a superior motor to, like, say, Athearn's rubber band drive at the time. And we're going to take this TYCo Illinois Central Gulf Super 630, and we're going to try and make it as right as possible. Obviously, it's still going to have the vampire trucks, which was another TYCo disaster, but is also the butt of many jokes. However, why not? And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm modeling some Western Pacific stuff. It's summertime. I need some more trains, like I need a hole in the head. And so I'm doing a GP20, I'm doing a couple of F7s, and I'm doing a GP40. The GP20 is going to be a hybrid of TYCo and Atlas, because GP20 shells come a dime a dozen. I've got a couple of TYCo F units, and with the F units I figured, okay, let me see if this article that I found in a forum of a gentleman who upgraded his power torque motor with magnets is really worth it. And so I'm presenting to you another TYCo motor upgrade that's probably the best one out there. And that's next on Psycho for TYCo. Alrighty, even though we're talking about upgrading and rebuilding Alco's C630, we're going to start off with these 3 F units that I've got. What do these F units have to do with the 630? Well, 2 of them do, 1 of them doesn't. This one here is a Mantua F7, which had the old MU2 drive. These 2 have the power torque drives. Two of these are damaged. This F is missing its steps, and then not this F, that's the good F. This F has some side damage right here. So I'm going to use the steps from this F, and I'm going to put them on the Mantua F. And probably this one will become my dummy unit with a speaker for my Western Pacific F units. Now, because I'm using an Athearn frame for my powered unit, my dummy units are actually going to be using the dummy trucks from the power torque. Now, a quick discussion about the power torques. They were built, patented in the early 1970s by Consolidated Foods. And the reason they were made was for the fact that they wanted a low-cost motor. Athearns at that time, even with the rubber band drives, were much more expensive. And Con Foods, they just kind of wanted to they wanted a design for a low-cost, competitive motor versus like the Bachmans and the Lifelikes with their Cater motors. So one of the designers, I was looking up his name, couldn't find it, but one of the designers came up with a powertorque over lunch. And the interesting thing is the powertorque is basically an overglorified slot car motor. When originally designed, there were supposed to be 2 of these, so that you'd have 2 powertorques basically in one locomotive. And the idea was not only simplistic, simple, but also probably would have put any other model railroad locomotive in the dust. Well, that would be great if Consolidated Food was doing model trains, but Consolidated Food was doing train sets, which was a completely different thing. So Consolidated Foods wanted to save pennies on the dollar. They figured one was going to be good enough because you weren't going to be pulling these long trains. You were going to be pulling 6 to 8 cars on a loop. One motor will do the job. Then they cheapened it even more, and they cheapened it even more. And by the time the Phase 1 powertorque motor came out, these things were now getting a bad reputation. We are going to try with the TYCo 630 to fix that problem. And how we're going to fix that problem? Well, when you've got an overglorified slot car motor, use slot car magnets. Now, the idea came from a forum post on a forum member that wanted to upgrade his steam-driven tender drive powertorque motors. My attempt is going to be taking 2 of these powertorques, upgrading them with the magnets, and putting them in the Vampire truck TYCo C630. I'll never understand the Vampire trucks, but then again, when I was a kid, I didn't really notice that much on detail. So when this big bad boy comes out on there, it's going to actually live up to the hype of the steel hauler commercial. So let's get started with disassembling the powertorque motors. And so the first step in our project is we're going to have to figure out which version these powertorques are going to be. When Con Foods made these, or when they told Hong Kong to design them, they were like, yeah, make them as cheap as possible. Well, they made them too cheap. So over the years, small improvements had to be made on the powertorques in order to make them work. Now, popping them out of the F shells or any of the shells is pretty easy. You just kind of get your screwdriver under there, spread the shell apart, and these pop out. So I've got to pop out the bolster somehow, some way. It's been a while. But I got to pop out the bolster out of the dummy trucks, which basically takes a screwdriver and just applying a little pressure, and this one should pop right out. There we go. Now the dummy truck, the pickup wire is only held in by a small screw. We're going to take these screws out. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is get the bolster off. And there you have it. Now I'm going to put this bolster back on because I'm going to use the truck and the side frame for one of the Western Pacific Fs. Same principle applies. Just kind of get a screwdriver in there and it should snap on. There we go. Now one of the things I have noticed so far is the ground wires are different. I think this one somebody modified. This isn't the original wire. The original wire is a little bit thinner and more pliable. This one's a little more heavy. So whoever had this F unit beforehand tried to do some repairs on it, probably because of a broken wire. And I'll be saving these screws and these wires. If anybody's a Doctor Who fan, you'll know that Tom Baker, aka the fourth Doctor, once said, never throw anything away. And I kind of stick with that philosophy myself. There we go. So yeah, these will become the dummy F's trucks. These are the ones that we're going to be more interested in, as we're going to first rebuild them. And okay, and upgrade them so that we have a dual truck all right. So this is going to be the interesting part. If you notice, if I can find the flying fickle finger of fate here. This one's a phase 3, and how you can tell is there are vent holes here on this plate, which kind of identifies it as a phase 3 or a phase 2. Okay, thinking about it again, this is a phase 2. Phase 2s had the breather holes. Phase 3s actually had little things in there that said oil here. This one is a phase 1. So this one's the cheaper of the two. So this one might actually even be burned out. I don't know. That's probably why the guy did the wires. There are no breather holes. However, if you look very closely at this design, I do have some markings for some breather holes, so I will be modifying this cover. Now, when you take these apart, if you've seen any of the other TYCo powertorque videos that are out there, you'll know the hardest thing to put back in is the motor brushes and the springs. They will fly out. People have made some tools from index cards. I've used an index card. So I just got to be kind of careful taking this out. Ew. Okay. And there's the motor. And the brushes. And the springs. And there is your powertorque motor. And as you can see, the magnets are almost going to be a perfect fit. Now, these magnets are Aurora T-Jet magnets for slot cars. From all the information I've gathered off of this, these are the magnets you want to use to improve the performance of a TYCo tenfold. So if I can get one of these to work better, just think about how you're going to do it with two, right? Now let's go ahead and disassemble the truck more, because I obviously want to use 3 axles because of the fact that an Alco 630 is a 6-axle unit. We're going to take out the 3 screws, and then truck side frames pop off. This is the beauty of the powertorque. They wanted to make a universal truck that could fit into an F7, fit into a GP20, fit into a freaking 060 locomotive, fit into the back of any... This was a very universal motor, and it was much better than the MU2s. And this thing is bound up like nothing, man. This is a good candidate for work. Disassembly is easy most of the time. Okay, you have this small motor, and it looks like whoever did the repair on this one, he used a little bit of glue on here. I prefer to use blue Loctite or just some paint to hold it in place. This is going to be, I don't know if you can see it, but this is going to be your trouble pot in any TYCo modification. This will be your little trouble spot. So like I say, a little drop of Loctite, or you use blue Loctite too. Don't use red Loctite, you'll never get it off. Yeah, these gears and everything is all gooey. I mean, look here. Carpet fibers. This was a well played with motor. Shag carpet. Boy, if that doesn't say 1970s, I don't know what does. Alright. We're going to take the motor out. And for the most part, this motor is going to be fine. We're just going to clean this up with a little alcohol. And then we're going to mount our power jet, or our T-jet motors in here. And then in the next video, we're going to test each motor before doing a final full assembly. So we're going to remove one at a time. I got two springs under here that hold it. It just takes a lot of effort to get these out. So we're going to get these out one at a time. We're going to go replace the motors one at a time. And I either need a thinner screwdriver or I need a pair of, a little tip in here. There we go. And it's one motor. So considering this is red, I will attempt, first of all, to see if this just fits right in. Sometimes these slot car motors, these magnets for the slot cars will fit right in. If they don't fit right in, don't worry. Hardest part is just getting them over the locking spring. And yes, you can grind these down just a little bit if necessary, which might be the fact on this one. Let's see, we're gonna measure this up with okay. Measure this one up with a red one. If I can keep it together. Looks like it's going to be a snug fit, but it's going to fit. Whee! I love magnets. I really do. I might need to file this off a little bit. Oh, no. It's kind of going in. Okay, so when we're putting in the T-jet magnets into the powertorque, they're just not fitting in with the mounting pins here. So what the original author did is he just knocked off the pins. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take my Dremel. I'm going to shave off a little bit on each end, and we're going to go from there. There we go. And it. All right, a little grinding. We've got one end. Now we're going to pop off the other one. And we're going to put the blue one in. I need to get something on that. Ooh, it's a snug fit. All right, our new magnets are in. Now we just want to check with the armature and just make sure the armature fits in with no problem. We'll give that a little bit of a spin. Give that a little bit of a spin, and that works perfectly. All right, next we're going to clean up everything in an alcohol solution. We'll do some lubrication. We'll put this powertorque back together. We'll do that in another segment. So this is just a quick, easy fix. And then we'll see if our powertorque works. And then we'll also do the same with this one. And then we'll go ahead and we'll put this all together. I'm also going to clean up the brushes. So everything's going to get an alcohol bath. And after the alcohol bath, like I said, we'll put these back together. We'll see if they work as an individual unit, and then we'll put these both together and we'll see if it works as intended originally by the designer of the powertorque, whose name eludes me. And we'll put it in the TYCo 630. We'll see if it runs, and if I get a chance, we'll go up to the Carson City Model Railroad Association and we'll give it a good old tug test. So until then, here's a quick tutorial on how to upgrade a TYCo motor the easy way, instead of like using a CD-ROM motor or something of that nature, which some people they do. When they want to upgrade their powertorques, they kind of hog it out, put a CD-ROM motor in there. But there you go, Aurora T-jet magnets. As you can see, they darn near fit in here. I mean, will this work for a Bachmann pancake motor, one of their Cater motors? We'll find out in a future episode. But for right now, I've got another eBay store project. So we're going to get this one all thrown together. So until then, folks, I am Psycho for TYCo. Hey friends, I know you're at the end of the video and all that, but I just wanted to give a quick shout out that if you're in Carson City or any of the surrounding neighborhoods, come on down to Mills Park where the Carson City Railroad Association, my model railroad club, happens to be at. We've got both HO scale and N scale. We run modular displays. We also have, during the summer months, a 2-foot tourist railroad that kind of goes around half the park. Membership fee is about $35. If you want to run some trains, come on down. Just let us know. Link in the description, and the link is right here at the bottom. And have a good one. I'm Psycho for TYCo. We'll see you next time.